Hi, I'm Charles8889A with our world's robot, and I'm just going to do a quick little explanation. So we ran 2-motor intake with 6-motor drive. You can see we ran 36 tooth to 48 tooth with the McMaster spacers, so that way they could fit in between the wheels. So we ran 3.25, 2.75, 3.25, and this was just so we could over center. Well, the 2.75 was so we could over center on the barrier faster when crossing. Then, yeah. One big thing was these screws. There's no nut down here, which means we just screwed them through the wheel, and then we screwed it down, and then we just added the gear onto the screws. There's a little bit of slot, but it's really fine, and it also saved quite a bit of weight. You can see we cut these little things out of the back 3 wide, and this is just so we could make our bot half an inch shorter for the slides in the front. You see here the slides in the front, pretty nice, and then they're tangent to the wheel, 30-degree angle, whatever. Popped the robot up not very much during our barrier cross. You can see we only ran 1 sled, and this was just driver preference, doesn't really matter. Yeah, you can see our inertial sensor just right there. Then moving into our intake, 1200 RPM with flex wheels, because flex wheels are better. Intake wedge, and then intake sleds here. And then we used gears for our intake because we had a very bad experience with chain. You see here, it's a 24 tooth to 24 tooth to 12 tooth, and we just dremeled them, and then we did it on the other side as well. And then yeah, our motors are on this vertical 3x3, and then yeah, so that way we had more space for the tri-ball. Then you can see our trapdoor just helped for bowling and intaking. It was pretty nice. And then we have the red string here, hard stop, so that way we didn't go too far into the goal. And then we had this high strength axle here for ramming into the goal, helped a lot. Then you can see we have this this hang here, well, our park, and big thing about this was these were actually also our wings as well, so they're quite short. When both of them extended, we could go straight through the alley without touching the walls. That was quite nice. Yeah, they're also really short because of our park. When we drove up and over-centered on the barrier, you could just extend these wings, and it would hit a park every time. We had a macro for that, so our driver just had to align it, and it would work fine. Poly's double stacked, hand cutted. It's kind of messy, but whatever. Yeah. So you can see our C-tier hang over here, just 4 pistons. And then you can see the ball bearings here, and then this just allowed us to free spin on the hang bar, so that way we could always hit C-tier. And then yeah, our piston geo was kind of bad, so we had to drive quite fast into hang in order to pull up all the way. Then you can see our battery, our first air tank, and our second air tank. One thing is our solenoids. You can see this one back here and this one down here, then this one over here. They're quite low compared to the rest of the robot, which means we had a really nice center of gravity. Again, better for barrier cross. Yeah. Another thing was our center of gravity was really far forward, so you can see the bar rested on about the middle of the first traction wheel, which means we had to move our intake mount really far forward. And yeah. Also, we just used these pneumatic valves, so that way it was easier for pumping air. Yeah, this is our vertical wing. It's nice. Yeah, it had these little wedges on it, just so that way we could get the ball out of the match load zone, and then we also use this for bowling. Then we have the standoff here, so that way when we got the ball out of the match load zone, it wouldn't ride over the C channel and drop back in. Yeah, one more thing. You see we had the distance sensors, 1, 2, 3, and then 4 in the front. And this was just so our coder could do pure pursuit without the traction wheels because we just ran out of space. Yeah, so these worked by realigning our position when we're lateral to the wall. It was really nice, and our autons worked pretty well, yeah. You can see we have a shooter here. We never used it at Worlds because we were kind of lazy. And, yeah. It's just a 12-tooth to a 60-tooth. It's quite simple. And then it's just the 12-tooth shaved off. And these are green motors, so it was 200 shots a minute. Practiced a lot. Have this, this tri-ball holder. We just molded it to a trophy, and this whole thing's like a pound, so it's quite heavy. And then we would just mount it right here. Then the shooter would go down into the intake. Yeah.